Anthony Hartwig here with another awesome Coach's Corner and season preview. This time we're hitting the soccer pitch for the first time this year, and I think it makes sense that we bring on someone that had a pretty good season in soccer last year, the champion girls head coach Emily Metheny. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
So before we talk about all the great things that I'm sure you guys have in store this year, I kind of want a recap of last season, some of the things that you guys obviously went to, and what you hope the returning players bring out of going through everything last year.
Last year we made it to the Elite Eight, which was something special for our program. We've never went that far in program. We also had an undefeated season. We had a senior heavy class, but also a freshman heavy class last year. So moving into this year, it's been awesome having those freshmen step into that sophomore role. And the majority now of the entire team having the experience of being district champs, knowing what it's like to be in tournaments, having that pressure on them, and then able to handle it. So now they're really setting the expectations for our incoming freshmen, which has been awesome to see.
Let's start with kind of a meet the team segment. I know there's a lot of people that we know and a lot of faces we know, but maybe some new faces too. Go through the roster, the names that we have to know before the season starts, and who you expect big things from.
We got 4 seniors this year, 2 of which are captains. We have Bella Dooley and Sammy Plott, which are returners back at defense. For our juniors, we have Captain Grayson Noski, who runs a lot of our offense. Also, Allison Henderlight, huge shout out to her. She did amazing last year in goal for us, and she worked hard in our off season and continuing to improve. She's had a great preseason so far. We have, like I said, a large sophomore class. We have 8 of them. We have Mackenzie Bram, who was part of our defense last year, really had a huge role for us. Maylene Dodd in our center, really being able to distribute the ball, being a great leader. She's also a captain as a sophomore this year. And we also have Jackie Fields, who really played well for us on the outside. She was a starter, and she'll be a returning starter. And then stepping into a role this year also for our sophomores would be Sammy Monroe. She's been a huge help in being willing to try different positions, being moved around, really a team player in that aspect. And then we have some incoming freshmen as well. Mia Daly, she's been great for us in the preseason, along with Ella Pompoka, also a huge attribute to us in that freshman class.
When you lose a senior class like you did, you lose a lot of leadership. I'm sure you lose a lot of people that led the team. Who are you just starting to see step up and kind of fill those leadership gaps? We know your experience. We know you bring back a big freshman class, but who's stepping up to be that vocal leader this year so far?
So that was one of our big things coming into this season for preseason was just telling everybody those seniors are gone, maybe those people that we've leaned on in the past. And it's now time for a whole new face. They get to step into those roles, find their own identity as a team. And we're really seeing the 4 captains this year really just stood out in the preseason. And that's why I was able to name 4 this year. And having it start from a senior, junior, and down to sophomores has been really impressive. And those 4 have really been stepping up and helping lead those roles that we needed to fill.
One of the things that we always ask every senior we interview is what kind of impact do you want to leave on your program? How are you going to leave it better than when you found it? You had amazing seniors. How much are you seeing their footprints on the team this year as you're watching them in the summer getting ready for the season?
Oh, they definitely left big impacts on it. You can hear the girls maybe saying some of the lines that they've used or really just taking in whether it's leading through vocalizing it or just through play and really standing out through it. And they're wanting to get back to where we could be this year from last year, getting to that districts. We always set goals preseason and we revisit those mid-season right before tournaments even. And they're really stepping up and really asking the girls, what do you see of us this year? Where do you want to be? Because this is my level of expectations. And they're really taking that into consideration. They're taking it very seriously.
When we talk about your schedule, we can't start without the MVAC. I mean, leading this conference, you kind of won it away from some teams that had controlled it for years last year. So, you're going to have a little bit of target on your back this year for those teams that want to come back into it. What do you see out of the conference this year, and what's it going to take to repeat?
Our conference is big. We added in Southeast, which I'm interested to see. I see them early on in the season this year. We changed it to we only see our conference one game instead of playing them twice. So that's going to be a different aspect, really, because you only get the chance of one time instead of coming back, and you always get to kind of have those insights coming for that second game. But our conference is always tough. And the girls know, I mean, for anybody on our schedule, we're going to have that target on their back, and they're really using that as fuel. And they're excited for this season to get started.
Now you also have a very tough non-conference schedule. You guys want to be ready for the tournament when it comes up. So, who are those teams that pop up outside of the MVAC that you're really excited to see you guys go up against and excited to test yourselves with?
Like I said, since we only got to play our conference once, I really wanted to find those hard hitting non conference games that we could fill in. I mean, we start the season off with JFK. That's a battle every single year, and we love it. The girls look forward to it. It really sets a tone for the season. And then we have Berkshire early on, which was a tough game last year. I'm pretty sure that ended like 3-2. And then we also have Lakeview early on in the season. And then we have Mooney that we only got to scrimmage them last year, and we didn't see them in tournaments, but we got them added on to the schedule, and that's more later into the season, which I think is going to be great prep going into tournament time.
I want to talk about opening the season with Warren JFK because that's really throwing the players out to the Sharks early. I mean, no time to really get your feet wet in the season. It's here we go. What's it like for a coach to kind of have an opening game like that where you are going to know really quickly where your team is and what you need to work on?
I think it really helps set the tone for how they go into our preseason of summer work. They know that they don't really have that game to get their feet under them. They need to be ready come August 16th. And that makes them really have that dedication, showing up to the open fields, the team lifts, the team runs. And it just, I think it motivates them and it helps us set the tone that you need to be prepared right out the gates. And there's no time to just be lackadaisical or just take anything for granted.
There's been a lot of work put in to get ready for tomorrow. What's the team chemistry like? What has this summer been like off the field, trying to get the team bonding up and get the chemistry where it needs to be too?
We always do some fun stuff. We do just like a spirit week at the end of July to really get the girls together and bonding. Team breakfasts, they love Dunkin' runs. Doing team dinners has always been a big thing in our program. That's why I always stress family. You see that written down the back of our shirts that we always wear. And I think just setting that tone and expectation throughout the years of the program, it just makes it going into each year, you don't really have to set that precedence. The girls truly enjoy being around one another. And so they're just, every time the season ends, they're like, when can soccer start? We need to get stuff going. So it really never has to pick back up. It's kind of fluid all throughout the year.
What's newer now in the last several years is the club soccer and how big it's getting in the area. There was a time not too long ago where when you got freshmen, they were green and you were trying to
Mhm.
teach them the fundamentals. What have you seen from your perspective from the club soccer scene and how much that has helped development of players before they get to you as freshmen?
Club soccer has been a huge aspect. It's been great for the girls, whether they just go for training on certain nights. I know that it's available, or they're there on the actual team. The dedication and the love that these girls have for soccer has really been shining through. And those coaches that are really stepping up and helping these girls in the off season and playing a big role, it means a lot to them. These girls love it. They are lucky that they have these opportunities. And it's also been nice because they have the Winter League that they run over at the Wellness Center where we can enter the high school teams. And that has been huge for the freshmen coming in. They kind of feel more comfortable than just showing up in July and meeting the team for the first time. They kind of get to meet them as eighth graders and get their feet in the water and just see how it's going. So, I mean, it's been huge. The girls really been working hard, like I said, in the off season. So it's been very beneficial.
So just in case you didn't get enough soccer in the fall, you can just go right into the winter indoor season.
Right.
Um, let's talk about your coaching staff. We always want to give the coaches the chance to highlight the people that help them get to where they are. We know that you get the interviews, but you don't do it by yourself. So talk about your assistants and the people working behind you to make this champion girls soccer program great.
Oh yeah, it takes a whole community. We had a great support system all last year as we made those tournament runs. My assistant coach is Sean Barley. He's been in the soccer world for many, many years. He was my head coach, and then we came over and transitioned to champion together. It's been awesome because I mean, I came through his program and I saw like how he ran it, and I've been able to kind of go off of that and then make it my own in the same time. And he really respects that, and he lets me run my program and assist me in a great way. And we have that relationship where we trust one another in making decisions. I also love when my alumni come back and help out through the summer and through the winter time. Emily Beach has been helping me for like 4 years, I'd say now. And then Mia Nidad has been a huge aspect. She's been coming this summer, really helping out. She's going to be at college this year, but she's at YSU, so she'll be able to come around when she doesn't have class or work. And the girls love to see her. They obviously trust her as they were the captain last year. And just her volunteering her time has been really meaningful to these girls, and they love seeing her around.
No shocker that Mia's coming right back to the program.
Right.
You know,
She's awesome.
no shocker at all. Coach, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on and preview your season. We know that we're going to be covering you. We have someone at your game on Friday tomorrow for coverage, so you'll be broadcasted right off the jump with Warren JFK primetime 7 o'clock. We wish you the best of luck all year, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate all your coverage.